Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Hugh Freeze, the Auburn Tigers, landing a massive flip commitment from four-star defensive lineman Amaris Williams coming out of the state of North Carolina. And I get a lot of Auburn fans had their eyes set on KJ Bolden and the potential flip that could have happened there as a consolation prize. And I wouldn't even use that as a term here for Amaris Williams because this guy is an absolute difference maker, an absolute game wrecker on the defensive side of the football. One of the more, not just impressive film studies, but one of the more fun film studies to watch. We'll get into Amaris Williams, talk a little bit about what he brings to this Auburn defense. But if you're an Auburn fan, to see Auburn back to recruiting the level that they need to be recruiting at, to go win an SEC title, to go compete for national titles, that's what has to excite you the most. And Hugh Freeze certainly getting it done. Before we get into Amaris Williams, just want to say, thank you to you guys. It has been just a blast covering the recruiting trail, transfer portal for the Auburn Tigers. You guys have shown a ton of support. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, can't thank you guys enough for rocking with the boys like you guys have. Without further ado, let's get into Amaris Williams. And this is one of my favorite prospects in this 2024 class for a multitude of reasons, but I think the most special aspect of Amaris Williams is the size that he brings at 6'3", 270 pounds, in the athleticism, in the explosiveness, in the movement skills that he has. That's what really makes him a special prospect on that defensive line. You're going to see him line up as a running back and look like he's moving at 220 pounds. I mean, the movement skills and the athleticism and the ability to operate in space and how explosive he is for a guy that size is absolutely incredible. And you see that translate to his pass rush, and you see that translate to how physically imposing he is on that defensive line. And I think the second thing that you like most about a guy like Amaris Williams is he can play early and he can play in a lot of different spots. This is a guy that's 270 pounds right now, could play at that 3-tech, could play at that 5-tech at coming off the edge, has the athleticism to come off the edge, has the size and strength to play on the inside, and versatility is massive. Like, this guy could be kind of a run-stopping edge on first and second down. You kick him on inside and have an elite pass rusher on the inside for those third and longs. A lot of different ways that you can use a guy like Amaris Williams, and wouldn't really be surprised if you see him labeled as a 5-star at the end of all these things when the final recruiting rankings come out, because this is a guy that's taken massive steps from a sophomore to junior to senior year. Want to turn on a little bit of the film, and I think what stands out, a lot of things stand out about Amaris Williams is, one, he has all the projectable traits that you want, right? I mean, extremely, extremely strong, extremely explosive, kind of checking off all the physical trait boxes that you want. But he also couples that with elite production at the high school level. And again, if you guys have been listening to me talk recruiting, I mean, I care a lot about that stuff. And it's awesome that he runs a 4.7 40, which is absolutely insane at 265 pounds. But I love to see when you take those physical traits and show that, yes, that translates to guys being good football players. And you see that with Amaris Williams. This first rep, it kind of sums up like how special Amaris Williams is. This is a 270-pound body. His get off the line of scrimmage is absolutely insane. I mean, completely blows by this tackle. And you want to watch this again. I mean, that is some truly special juice off the edge. The burst and bend, how fluid he is to work around tackles. And then you're going to see him as a ball carrier. And again, this is 260 pounds of just absolute athleticism, running through tackles, contact balance. It's really all there for a guy like Amaris Williams. And although I don't expect to see him having the football in his hands on the offensive side of the ball for Auburn, it does show you just the athleticism and the big body that you are working with a guy like Amaris Williams. And on that defensive line, when you have the size and the athleticism that a guy like Amaris Williams has, like, that's what you want. That's the check the boxes that you really need to check. Now, on the defensive side of the football, it does pretty much everything that you really want. I mean, from the inside here, a little inside move, the closing speed that he has, I mean, you throw that one back, the closing speed in terms of going out and not only getting in the backfield, but making a play on the quarterback, that's kind of what you want, right? Getting in the backfield. 43 tackles for loss in his 2020, in his junior campaign with 18 sacks is an outstanding number. And again, you see the athleticism on full display for a guy like Amaris Williams too. That's what makes him special. The size, the athleticism that he has. I can't believe that's how he moves at the size he is, but he really does just get it done as a ball carrier. Really exciting prospect. Again, not only impressive film, but just a really fun film study to watch. Getting in the backfield, you're going to see him work on the inside, on the outside. And then you take a look at what Auburn's done in this 2024 class, and that's probably what excites you the most. And I think what you're probably most excited about is Hugh Freeze has come into this program and identified, all right, what are the positions that we need to address after this Brian Harsin era? And the first thing that comes to every Auburn Tiger mind is that wide receiver position. He goes out and lands two of the top receivers in this class in Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson. But the offensive side of the football is not the only phenomenal job they are doing on the recruiting trail. You look at the front seven and the talent that they are going to be able to bring in. A guy like DeMarcus Reddick, who, again, is going to be on the field early for the Auburn Tigers. And I don't know about in 2024 with some of the linebackers that have said they're coming back. He has such a bright future in terms of the athleticism that he brings to that linebacker spot. A guy like Jamonte Waller, one of the best pure edge rushers that you see in this class. You scroll by Walker White, obviously a dude. Joseph Phillips, probably going to play that edge position, but a guy that's 6'2", 250 pounds, phenomenal athlete. You continue to scroll down, a guy like Malik Blockton. And the guys in the front seven, you have to be thrilled about if you're Auburn. So you're checking a lot of boxes in terms of what you need at Auburn to be successful. We didn't see classes like this under Brian Harsin. You're starting to see them come together with Hugh Freeze. And another thing I would add is you're seeing a lot of programs, first and second year head coaches, go to the transfer portal extremely heavy to kind of retool this roster. And Hugh Freeze is certainly doing that. And we're going to see some fireworks in terms of transfer portal acquisitions this offseason. We saw him last year. I think we'll see him this year. But he's doing a nice job balancing and recognizing that the future of this program is also important. Yes, we want to win in 2024 and in 2025, but we also want to set ourselves up for sustained success. And you look at the blueprint for doing that. It's not retooling through the transfer portal every single year. It's getting it going on the high school class as well. And that's exactly what you've seen Auburn do. Bringing in a top 8 class at the high school level, going to bring in a very good transfer portal class. And when you marry the two, that's when you can have a special roster with a lot of talent. It's hard to marry the two. It's a numbers game. You have to decide who you want to take in the portal and who you want to maybe just leave. But Hugh Freeze doing a really nice job marrying, all right, we're going to get it done in the transfer portal, but we're also going to get it done on the high school ranks. That's the blueprint. Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, those guys, they build the classes in the high school ranks, get them into the program and develop them, and then use the transfer portal to supplement the roster. You're seeing Hugh Freeze do that. He had to be a little bit more aggressive in the transfer portal because Brian Harsin left this roster in a complete disarray in terms of the talent level. But as Hugh Freeze gets more cycles under his belt, you're going to see less transfer portal and more dominant recruiting at the high school ranks. And you're seeing that play out in this 2024 cycle. Massive flip commitment. Amaris Williams heading to Auburn, difference maker on that defensive line, one of my favorite prospects in this class. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys again. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.